Hello, so welcome back to the channel and the Boxster S. I've owned this car for a while now and already some issues have come to light. One of which I have had to deal with and has been repaired. But I'll get to that at the end of the video, as it is by far the biggest issue you can get with one of these cars. I'll give you a quick walk around and just show you what kind of state it's in, as there have been a number of issues that have come to light already. So the first issue on the car would be these headlights. I'm going to go from smallest issue to the biggest. With this being a 17-year-old car, the headlights have started to yellow. When buying the car, I did see that. It didn't put me off too much, as it's just a case of buying a kit from Halfords, being able to bring them back to life. So it didn't bother me too much, but it is something that definitely ages the car and something that I will get done. So the next issue on this car is actually here, to do with the soft top. It's just happened on this side and not on the other side, but the piping has come out from the surround here. This is just due to an age-related issue of the elastic just losing its tightness over time. So when you're driving along, you can hear a lot of wind noise just above your head being caused by this piping, which isn't sitting flush. So it's only happened on this side. On the other side, I can show you what it should look like. It's a relatively easy fix of just applying some new elastic inside the roof. Not overly major, but it is just a case of when you're driving with the roof up, you do get a lot of wind noise. Coming on to slightly more major issues, there was an issue with the exhaust. You can see here that this is not the stock exhaust that came on the Boxster S. That being, while I was dealing with the other issues on this car, the exhaust did get to a state where it had to be replaced for me to carry on driving. So I have done that. There will be a video on this exhaust. It is a Top Gear exhaust that was simply just bought off eBay, but I've heard good reviews on it. But the exhaust was essentially rusted through. Here's a picture of the hole. It really did need replacing, as it just didn't sound right. So the next issue with the car is when coming to start it, I get the key, put it in the ignition, clutch down, and twist the key all the way. And this is the key fully twisted, nothing happening. And there's just a series of clunks, but nothing happens. So there's a half twist. It will do its oil measure. And it has started, but it's not. The thing that's frustrating is it's not a case of turning the key and off you go. Sometimes I have been stuck at a petrol station turning and turning, taking out, putting, turning, and it just doesn't work. It is an intermittent fault as well, that on the warning, there's this exclamation mark lights up, and it says ignition fault. The car does always start, but it just takes a few tries, and it is quite frustrating. There it is. That is the issue that comes up. And the exclamation mark stays lit. So this issue was actually something that I did pick up while I was looking at the car. I didn't see it as being anything too major, but it is something that needs to get fixed. It's only apparent while you're driving, so only driving at low speeds. So I suspect it's a drop link of some sort, whether it's broken or whether it's just loose and needs tightening up. I haven't got round to looking at it yet, but I'll just get up to a bit of speed, and there are some speed bumps coming up, so you'll be able to hear it. I'm sure the GoPro can already pick up on it now, but here you go. I'll coast over the speed bump so you can hear without any engine noise. So I don't know whether you got that, but I'll carry on driving for a bit just so it does get apparent, and yeah, you'll be able to hear it. So I'll just do a quick, just a drive through here, and you should be able to hear the noise. I'll get up to some speed and coast just so you can so that will be on the top of my list to get sorted, as it does take away quite a bit of the enjoyment of driving the car when driving through towns or anything at a low speed does just become incredibly noisy. And this final issue on the Porsche is every Porsche owner's worst nightmare. It actually happened a while ago. It was after 4 or 5 days of me owning the car. I was driving along on a summer's afternoon, and then I heard this noise. I'll put some clips in here. Yeah, stop there. And when driving the car home, the 4 miles that I needed to get home, the noise progressively got worse, and then the car sat on my driveway for almost 2 months as I tried to figure out what to do, whether it was a case of selling the car or finding someone who can rebuild the engine. As you can see, the car is back on the road and is driving, so yeah, I did go for the engine rebuild and managed to find someone who could do it for me. There will be another video on what caused this. Was it something that I did, or did I just buy a bad car? Was this car sold to me with this issue being known? And who did I get to fix? Who did I get to rebuild the engine? And more importantly, how much did it cost? As it was a big expense, only 1 week into owning this car, 1 week into Porsche ownership. To find out more about the engine issue that happened with this car, there will be another video following that up. If you have any questions, do drop me a comment, and subscribe for plenty more videos on the car.